Alrighty, guys, we're here to talk about real estate one more time. We are going to talk about what I was listening on the news uh, to the office. So they said the mortgage application rates. So if you're selling a home, you really should listen to this, guys. Okay, if the mortgage application rate, they said that it has dropped uh, to all-time low. So they look at history and they say, okay, what was the last time that we get X amount of applications for mortgages to purchase a property? And they have this data all the way back to 1995, if not further back. And they said the lowest it's ever been was back then when interest rate was whatever the case scenario is. We're looking at, and let me show you this graph. This is the graph that came in, and they're showing that in January 25, we had that little spike up, and then it dropped back down. If you remember, the rates were kind of dropping from last before all these spikes started happening with the interest rate. When that started raising the rates, the applications for mortgages became less and less. So, in other words, if we had 100 buyers, we had if we have 200 buyers, we lost 60 buyers. That's basically what it came down to. Oversimplifying this, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of made me start scratching my head. Okay. Well, we know that new construction is up because the prices came down and they're giving incentives. And there's a whole thing with that. If you haven't looked at it, look at it. We'll go over it again later. So I said to myself as a normal person, well, what about new constructions? Now, they also have their data. Now, I don't know if anybody remember or heard, I always been telling people, and looking at this graph here, that real estate kind of cycles and has patterns until the pattern is no longer, right? So if we notice, this is basically a review of what it was uh, seasonally. So you can see that for March of 19, it goes up and it goes back down. It goes up, goes back down, goes up, it goes down. And then we have a reflection, All of a sudden, we're not following that pattern, okay? We are now, I'm going to have to say that's about 5% drop there for year over year. And what are we going to be looking at for next month? So, we saw that has adjusted downward as well. So the question will become is, how does that affect us? We know when interest rate goes up, and let's go back to the basics, right? We know that interest rate goes up because the government says, hey, we're going to try to tackle inflation. We can raise the rate. There's less buyers. Less buyers will no longer qualify. But what's happening now is that not only they're no longer qualified for the interest rate that's being given, people are no longer even interested in submitting an application to see if they qualify. They might have that conversation, but to get to that next step is a big deal. So now we have less applications, so that means even less buyers. And this is nationwide. This is not specific for your location. But this is something we need to keep an eye on because, okay, how is this affecting us locally? We know new construction prices are more affordable than it was. They're not appreciating, and as well as resales has not really changed their price. They're still trying to hold on to that higher price. Let me show you something, and let me do this transition real quick because I want to show you something. Okay, check this out, guys. I'm going to start over here. In black here is new construction home prices on average. Okay, it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, but it's always above the resales price. Every so often, because the market breathes, it goes up, it goes down. The prices comes down. The resale people or I'm selling my private home stays the same, and they intersect. It did it in 2005, just when the bubble was happening. If we remember what happened there, and then it became a new price. And what happened with the resale is now I'm selling my home, and I realize I cannot sell my home for that same price because new versus used, if you will. People says, well, I'd rather buy new. This pattern is emerging right now. So what's happening is that the new construction price has met the same price as a resale, right? And in time, the resale and the new construction price will start showing that there is a new price, and resale has to be less than new construction. Why does it has to be? Because again, if I'm going to buy something that somebody else lived in, or going to buy something that's brand new, it's that simple, right? And if I'm going to pay for something new, 10-year warranty, structural warranty, 1 or 2 years, home warranty, they probably paying for closing costs. They're probably paying for points down and so forth, right? Those prices, you can't compete with those. So those prices will be, again, will start showing in time a separation in prices, okay? And then you can see all throughout this time, and that's exactly what happened. Now, what was going on is what we're doing right here. Now, these prices, as you can see, it's going to kind of level off. It really is, right? I don't know if it's going to be for long term or short term, but then with all the data that's coming in, we just keeping an eye if we're going to start seeing more of a downtrend, if it's going to be gradual or sudden. That's the only thing we're going to be looking at, right? So all of a sudden, 2007, 2008, if we remember, that's when everybody realized, yeah, we're screwed, and prices dropped. People picked up great properties for cheaper, all these other great things. Same time, in the same breath, people lost a lot of money, and or they lost their home for whatever that same reason. So, and then we had that separation grow again throughout all of it, and again we're starting. So I think that's what's going to happen to us right now. We're going to find that we've plateaued for right now. We're going to have more of we're going to have a season. I'm not sure if it's going to be short or long before either we see a downfall in prices, or if we're going to continue seeing there and a new floor and then maybe appreciation. That's the only question. With everybody that's stating out there, we actually going to see a downfall. If we see the downfall, the only question should we be asking ourselves, is it going to be a sharp downward turn or a gradual and long drawn out time period? That's really the only question. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, this is the things that we're going to take a look at. Again, if we know, you know what, that's something I didn't say. You see how January 25th, both for new construction, again for January, we saw this deep gouge downwards. That goes back to what happened here, interest rate, right? We are saying that the rate went up. Is that a coincidence? No. Consumer, the normal consumer right now is basically just scared to buy property. Why? Because all of the things that are happening. So, hey guys, I hope that you enjoy this. Have a great day. God bless. Love you.